Welcome to a guide to new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. It is Monday the 8th of April and we have some new mods. I haven't done a mod review for a little while, to be fair. Some of the mods that came out last week were just updates. When I say came out, they were updates of mods that had already come out. There were a couple of sheds, and on the days they came out I didn't have the opportunity to do the review, so I do apologise for that. However, getting on with today, we have got 4 mods out today. I'm going to start on this end here, I think. Yes, I definitely will. This is the Amazon ZAM. This is by, I think it's Mlody98, I think. I'll put it up on the screen. These are fertiliser spreaders, but this is something a little bit different, and I quite like this. The mod itself is very neat, very tidy. It's it's a fertiliser spreader. But what is good about this, if we have a look in store, actually, you know what we'll do? We'll have a look in garage first, because I forgot to write down what the mod requirement was on this 4 slots. Sorry, this is not the mod requirement, the slot requirement. 4 slots. So this is under fertiliser technology. Now, if we look here, we've got the Kuhn Axis 40.2. That's a 3,200 litre fertiliser spreader, and that costs 20,000. If we scroll across, we've got the Fertimax, which was obviously, that was a mod. And then we've got the Bradell F2WS 4000. That's a 4,000 litre one, and that is 28,000. Both of those are 24 metre. Here we've got the Amazon ZAM. So this is the new one. The base model is 15,000, so it's quite a little bit cheaper already. But the difference you can probably see already. The other ones, the rear-mounted 3-point link ones, only do fertiliser. This one does fertiliser and lime, which is what the bigger ones do, fertiliser and lime. Now, admittedly, the rate you get through lime, I think again it's good to have it as an option. So if you're starting off, you've got a small farm, small fields, and you're gradually building up, the fact that it does lime as well, I think it's a bit of a winner actually. So we'll look at the options available on it. Let's swing round like so. Standard one is the ZAM 1001, 24 metre spread, 1,000 litre capacity. That will set you back 15,000. Then we've got the 1501. That's a 1,500 litre capacity. That will cost you 17,500. Still 24 metre spread regardless. But after we've done the first one, this one onwards, we've got the option to have a cover if we want as well. Adds a little bit on, but not a huge amount, 500. So we'll take that off, and then we'll go back to there. Then we've got the option of the 2501, which is a 2,500 litre one. Again, we can have a cover if we want to or not. That's 20,000, and then we can have, we can have the 3001, which is a 3,000 litre capacity. Now, even with the 3,000 litre capacity and the cover, if you want that comes at 22,500 for a 3,000 litre fertiliser spreader. I think that's a bargain. I think it's pretty good, and the fact that that does fertiliser and and lime, not herbicide, fertiliser and lime, but that makes it a winner in my book. I like that. I think that's a really good option to have. Like I said, the other ones didn't have that option, and I think it's good to have it in there. 22,500. The other option there is 28 for a 4,000 litre and 20,000 for a 3,200 litre. So all right, it's 22,000. It's a little bit more than that one and a slightly smaller capacity, but again, you can do fertiliser and lime, which I think that's really quite handy. So what I'm going to do is grab this. Let's hook up. I've got to remember open cover and close cover if you have a cover on there. What we'll do is just whiz over very, very quickly. So we know it does fertiliser, but that's not the nifty thing with it. Oh, please tell me this is going to load up from here. Oh, that's a problem. Maybe I'm just not under it properly. Doesn't look like it. Oh, that's a bit of a... Okay, so I couldn't get it to fill up with from the silo, but it filled up from the lime big bag. So that's going to be a bit of a test. Let's close the cover. Normally the lime's not as wide a spread as fertilisers. That's going to be interesting. Let's put that on. That is, whoa, that's 24 metre spread. That's interesting though. Look at what that's doing. The spray, or the spray of lime, is going out way further than it's actually putting it on the ground. That's interesting. Let's do it this way, see if we can get the hole filled in. I put that right in the middle. Let's watch that spread again. Yeah, so the spread looks like it's going out 24 metres, but the lime doesn't actually go out that far. But anyway, there you go. That's a rear-mounted 3-point link fertiliser spreader, but it will do lime as well. Fantastic. The next one I'm going to be looking at is we've got a cultivator. It's a 3-metre cultivator. If you're a modder out there and you're making cultivators, can you make any bigger ones? And I'm not, I'm just saying for subscribers, because that's what people will say. They'll ask for bigger ones, they always do. So this is the Vicon Compact Tiller L3000. This is by Dim.Creative, and it will be set back 6 slots if you're going to use one. This has got some nice features on this. I've lifted it up actually on the back of the tractor because in the grass it was quite difficult to see. But again, slightly different design. The kind of corner has a marked things. I'm not quite sure what they're called actually. The detailing texture is very good, like even down to the bolt heads and that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's a cultivator. You will find this under, I think it's disc harrows. Let's have a quick look in store. It comes under, yeah, disc harrows. So it's under disc harrows there. Scroll across, and this will cost you 18,000. Which puts it about what the prices are. If we go and look down this end, we've got one there, 3.4 metre one for 13,000. The Caller Disc Farmer is 18,000 for a 3 metre, so it's about what they're charging, for that size. 3 metre cultivator does exactly what it says on the tin. Got a bit of a bounce, a bit of a kind of ebb and flow to that from what I just noticed. It kind of rolls with the terrain as well. There you go, a cultivator 3 metres by Dim.Creative. Yeah, that's not quite right, is it? That shouldn't be doing that, because that's actually raised the back off the floor. That's a bit of an odd one, and it's not going right to the field either. Okay, well, that's kind of, I'm having a look at them to see what they're like and what they do. I'm not quite sure that's acting or behaving the way it should. Yeah, it's kind of interaction with the terrain around it seems a bit peculiar. Anyway, moving on to the third of our mods for today. This is also by Dim.Creative. This is the Case IH3050 cutter. This is also 6 slots. This is a case header. I think it's an auger. Yeah, it's not a draper header. It's an auger. This is a 41-foot one. If we look into our headers just here and we scroll across, we're in this kind of territory here. The very feed, 41 feet, 12.5 metres. And then we've got the power flow, there's 12 metres, 12 metres. So it's around the same sort of area as the New Holland very feed. Same price as well, I think. Then we move up to the 13.7s and so on. If we go right to the end, this is where you'll find it. Case IH3050 cutter, 81,000, puts it exactly the same price actually as the New Holland one. There are no options available for it, and you will need a header trailer because obviously it's a little bit wide to get through gates and things like that. But what I will do is we'll jump into the harvester. And we will quit. Now what we do have option available, as you do with most headers, we can raise and lower that cutter and bring it in and out if we want to add a little bit of realism to get it to fit whatever crops we're doing. If I just open up the harvester, let's see, it's rotating. Very neat, very tidy, does what it should. There you go. That's the Case IH3050 cutter from Dim.Creative. Next up, and probably the coolest one, not that there's anything not cool about cutters and things like that, but this is cool. It looks cool. Now, this is the SX Heavy Truck by FA285634. This will use 27 slots. You can kind of see why. It looks rather fancy. If we have a look in store on trucks, here we go. We scroll across until we get to the in-game Lizard Roadrunner, which is 161,620 horsepower, and you've got the option to change the colour of the actual body of the vehicle. If we go to the SX Heavy, it's 150,000, which puts it a little bit cheaper already. It's a little bit higher on the slot count. Don't look at the slots down there already because I've already got one. That sort of obviously automatically drops it down a little bit. But when we have a look at it, the paint on this is incredible. All of them are metallic options. So if we look at main colour, and let's go to, I don't know, let's go to, we'll do orange. It's almost like a pearlescent as you go across that. That looks incredible. Now what you have got as well, from that angle you can see a little bit better, where it says design, that one there, that's the kind of stripe down the side. So if I went, I don't know, green, that's the same thing as well, that kind of metallic. You only kind of get it in certain lights, but I like that the fact it's really different to that standard kind of in-game, not that they're flat colours, but it's shiny. Looks really, really cool. Now, the one thing I have noticed, and this is, I don't know if this is supposed to be like this or not, I don't think it is, it says engine setup. Now it says Coyote and it says Roadrunner. If you put it on Roadrunner, it's 5,000 more, but nothing changes. Or at least it hasn't in my store. I thought maybe the speed would go up, or whether you'll get higher horsepower, or there'd be something that would stand out on the vehicle that makes it look like there's a different vehicle engine configuration. But it just says Roadrunner Coyote. One's $5,000 more, but nothing else changes on that menu. So I don't know whether it's supposed to, whether it's supposed to give you a higher horsepower. I honestly don't know. It's a bit peculiar. I think I went with the standard. I'm going to get that one as well. And then come out and have a quick look in garage, because I'm curious now to see if there's any difference that it says there. No, both of them say 620 horsepower, except one was 5 grand more. So I don't know with that. That's a bit of a peculiar one. You may know more than I do on that. But anyway, what's different to the standard in-game one? The cab is pretty much the same. The actual layout of the cab, where everything is pretty much the same. We have got these rather awesome looking bull bars on the front. It's a pity that's not an option. That would be quite cool to have the option to have those on and off, maybe. But that's on there. The other difference is on the standard game, or the standard version, we've got 2 axles at the back. This one we've got 3. Covered with mud guards as well. This axle steers, I think. Pretty sure it does. It makes it quite a long unit, but I have to say, it's very cool. I think the paint scheme makes it. It really does. If you're looking for something a little bit different, so I say that axle turns there. It does make it quite a long unit. What I will do is very, very quickly. Horn is. As far as the lights go, I think it's pretty much the same as the in-game one. Running lights down the side look really cool. There's no main beam option on that. Now, admittedly, I'm using my side panel, so I could put hazard lights on and stuff like that. But obviously, that won't come standard for you in-game. But indicators left and right. Like I say, because I'm using the side panel, I'm quite fortunate in that I can do that now. Does that have the front extended beam as well? But lights on, off, and then do that one. Yeah, you get a slightly kind of more full beam. But again, that's because I'm using the Satex side panel. But anyway, inside, I think it's pretty much the same as the standard in-game one. Plenty of room in the back of the cab. And what I'll do very quickly, we'll put it alongside. Turning circle's not too bad on it, considering the length of it. If I try and line them up next to each other, pretty much, it's probably not too bad. You can see how much longer that is already. I don't think. I'm looking over it, trying to see any differences, anything else that stands out. The bull bars at the front, obviously, and the paint scheme itself. But I think pretty much everything is the same. Like I say, apart from this back section here, you know, that's where that one ends, and this one then continues on. But I like the fact we've got the mudguards, fenders, whatever you want to call them, over the back of there as well. So really, they've kind of extended that section out to the back there, and then put this extra axle in here. But very, very nice indeed. Very, very cool mod. Looks pretty awesome. If you've been using that for a while and you fancy a bit of a change, something a bit more snazzy, that's probably the way to go. And that's it. That's the 4 mods that have come out today. I hope you found this useful, informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.